We are going to start working and creating your holiday game plan. This is our instruction tab, which will be very easy to follow once you have watched me go through this. I am just one slight step ahead of you, and then I already have my recipes in just so that I wouldn't take up too much of your time. When you open the game plan, your first tab is this intro sheet. We are going to get started by working in meals. Basically, all we're doing is we're coming up with the meals you need to cook. You can also include things other people are cooking if you want to. I suggest you do. So I am doing things for, not entirely on my own, Christmas Eve dinner, Christmas breakfast, and Christmas dinner. So I can come up with my recipes by thinking through those. For Christmas Eve dinner, I'm taking a cranberry salad, which I've put the link for here. Then for Christmas morning, we're doing breakfast casserole, sausage pinwheels, and monkey bread, which I've got links for here. And then for Christmas dinner, meaning me and John, are making mashed potatoes and chocolate chip pumpkin bread, and I've got those links in here. What you're gonna do first, come in and put the different meals you need, and then you can set a meal time. So Christmas Eve dinner is 6 p.m. Christmas breakfast, I want to do at 9 a.m. and Christmas dinner, I want to do at 5 p.m. You're not going to touch recipes yet. You are going to go ahead and select your locations. These are editable. They just say basic things. I think our examples are home and grandma's. I've already set mine up. I'm going to my brother Mark's for Christmas Eve dinner. I'll be at home for Christmas breakfast, and I'll be at John's parents, which we call Davis, for Christmas dinner. On Christmas Eve, we need to leave by 3:30 p.m. Christmas breakfast, that's not applicable. So I'm going to leave it blank. And Christmas dinner, we need to again leave by 3:30 p.m. Everything in our timeline that's going to be created is going to adjust based on that. Then we're going to fill in the different recipes that we need. And we're going to put links, or if we have pictures, emails, we're going to put everything we can in here to make it easy for us to come back to. And then we're going to fill in any information about what we might need in notes. As examples, for the breakfast casserole, it's a prep the night before thing. So I want to tell my GPT that I want to be in bed by 10 p.m. For the sausage pinwheels, I wanna remind it that they need to freeze overnight. For mashed potatoes, I don't wanna make them because 'cause they'll be old, but I wanna prep everything possible on December 23rd. The pumpkin bread I make on December 23rd. And for the monkey bread, I wanna warn it my oven takes about 20 minutes to preheat. You don't have to fill in any of this information, but I do recommend you go ahead and fill in the task owner. So John will make our salad, John will make our breakfast casserole, my mom will make the pinwheels, I will make the monkey bread, John will make the mashed potatoes, I will make the chocolate chip pumpkin bread. This is an appetizer, an entree, side item, dessert. Ovens available, you can fill in if you know. This is really gonna help you plan timelines. So at home, we have 2 ovens. You can obviously change this for whatever you need. Leave it blank if you don't need an oven. So this I like to cook in the bottom oven. These can go in the top oven. Monkey bread definitely has to be bottom oven. Those mashed potatoes don't go in the oven, and pumpkin bread I definitely want to be in my bottom oven because it's a full-sized oven and the other one's not. So I have filled in everything in this sheet, just like the last sheet. We're not going to do anything in purple. Do not touch anything in purple. That's where all our logic lives. Then I'm going to go back to meals, and I'm just going to mark what is for each meal. So the cranberry salad is for Christmas Eve. Breakfast casserole, pinwheels, and monkey bread are Christmas breakfast, and mashed potatoes and pumpkin bread are for Christmas dinner. Now I am going to start letting the GPT do a lot of work for me. Now, this is one of our quirky places. The GPT, for some reason, is having a hard time reading certain websites. If it's a big public website, like you're pulling something from Food Network, it's probably going to be able to read it. But I am finding that I prefer just copying and pasting everything. So I am going to go through and I'm going to open every single URL that's in here. I'm also going to make sure I have pictures, emails, notes, wherever I have my recipes. I'm going to have those open. And then I'm going to click Recipe Digitizer. This is a custom GPT we have created. You don't have to write any prompts, you don't have to choose the little button. All you have to do is put your recipes in. And what I am preferring to do is just a straight up copy paste method. So I'm going to copy the recipe in, close it out. Copy the recipe in, close it out. Copy the recipe in, close it out. And I'm going to do this for every single recipe. If you want to give a URL first and see if it works, that might save you some time. It's being a real beast about URLs for me. I have just found after a lot of testing that this is kind of our most foolproof method. Copying everything in. This is the last one. And then, little pro tip, if you are using blogs, scroll down and usually right below the header image, there's going to be this jump to recipe section. So you don't have to highlight the entire blog. You can just come and copy the actual recipe and you don't have to scroll through all of the ads and all of the things. Recipe in and go. And so now I've closed all my tabs and it has all of my recipes digitized. So next I'm going to come back in here to this recipe names tab, highlight cell 2A from recipe names, and I'm going to highlight everything except for the purple. And I'm just going to copy it and then paste it in here. And it's going to come out with 3 outputs. It's going to give you 3 different recipe tables. You've got the recipe names table, the ingredients table, and the recipe instructions table. And if you notice, you've got tabs that match those exact things: recipe names, ingredients, and recipe instructions. Come into your custom GPT. Over to the right, if you hover, you'll see a copy table button. Then come in here, put your cursor on number 2 so it'll highlight that line and paste everything in. Then we're going to go in and we're going to do the same thing for the ingredient table. Click number 1, paste it in. And then because I like for it to text wrap, I'm going to make it text wrap. Do the same thing for recipe instructions. And then I'm going to click the whole table. I'm going to make it text wrap and done. Now you have an instruction for every single recipe if you want to follow the recipe from here. Many of us are going to prefer to still follow the recipe from the original, but here's the reason this is extra cool. If you click back over to your to your recipe names tag, what you're going to see is these default serving sizes. And I want you to look at it based on your own recipes and just make sure they make sense. Every now and then I've seen the GPT go off the rails and be like, this is 72 servings. And no, it's not. So make sure it makes sense. For me, this all makes sense based on my recipe. If you want to make something for more people, so let's say that I actually need mashed potatoes for 12 people, I'm going to put that under servings needed. And then I want to make pinwheels for 12 people, I'm going to put that under servings needed. And what it's going to do, you see over here, we've got this 150% and this 200%. It's actually going to update that in your recipe instructions. So if you follow the recipe instructions for the ones that were updated, which for me are the mashed potatoes and the pinwheels, it's going to give you different quantities that have already been calculated for you. The other thing it's going to do is we're about to create a grocery list and it's going to update the amount you need in your grocery list. Then click over into grocery lists and we're going to let the GPT populate your grocery list. You're going to open the GPT. This is a totally different GPT than you had open before because we have 3 custom GPTs here. So make sure that you click that link. Then you're going to come back into your spreadsheet to this For GPT tab. Click the green box, copy, paste in. It's going to give you an output. And then again, you are going to paste the output directly into your grocery list. One thing that I do want to point out about the grocery list is that we don't have it deduplicating. So like sugar and sugar for coding are not deduplicating. And the reason that we've left it that way is because it might be that you have something calling for sugar and something calling for powdered sugar and something calling for brown sugar. And we don't want it to accidentally screw that up. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to click this table again to copy, come here to grocery list. And again, I click row number 2 and you're going to paste everything in. And then what we want to let it do is create your full timeline. We're going to click our third and final custom GPT, which is your holiday meal planner GPT. I'm going to go back to your instructions and it's going to give you the holiday meal planner GPT. Make sure everything looks right. All the meals are divided properly. You've got the right quantities. And then come back and copy this and you're going to paste it into your meal planner GPT. And then look at this madness. You're going to get this editable and printable master meal plan where it's going to tell you your summary. Here are the meals we're having. Here's where they're going to be, when we're eating them, what time, when we need to leave. It's going to give you planning assumptions, like it's assuming no oven sharing during bakes. So let's say that you're taking something that is just going to be reheated somewhere and you can oven share. You can then tell the GPT, hey, actually, we can oven share during bakes, update the instructions accordingly, and it can make that change for you. So it's giving you an idea of the assumptions it has made so you know what you're working with. Your key decisions, like all possible prep on the 23rd, make sure we're going to bed a certain time on the 24th. And then it's got food safety notes for anything that is relevant. And then you get this amazing printable master timeline. So on December 23rd, here's what I'm doing, preheating ovens, the times. And what's great about these canvases is you can edit them. So let's say I actually want to make the pumpkin bread in the morning before the kids get up, and I didn't tell the GPT that. I can come in and I can edit the canvas. And you can also honestly have it update the times for you because it is a GPT. Then you have a by owner task. So John can see his by day and check them off. I can see my by day. Nana can see her by day. We've got our oven schedules so we know exactly when to do what. And then we've got quick fixes if things are running behind. And so then all you have to do is make sure that this looks right, that it's what you want. You can download it and you can make it a PDF or you can make it a Word doc if you want to edit it yourself. It's going to look a lot better as a PDF, which is why I suggest editing in here. And then you can print it off. And so you have every single piece of this already done for you, tasked out, timed out. And of course, you can talk to the GPT like you would any normal GPT. Now you're essentially finished. Everything's planned, everything's generated. You've got all of your stuff done by time. The last thing that I want to just mention to you is later when you're grocery shopping. And what I would do is I personally would just open a normal GPT for this because they're really smart. Let's say I'm going to go through and I'm going to say, no, I don't need flour. Yes, I need apples. No, I don't need apple cider vinegar. No, I don't need baking soda. Yes, I need everything else on this list. And then I also happen to know that the only place I can buy pumpkin pie mix this time of year is Whole Foods. But every other item I'm going to get at Kroger because it's much, much cheaper and they have it all. So then I'm just going to copy this. If you have a paid AI, use whatever your paid AI is for this because the paid ones do better. I have paid ChatGPT. I know some people use Claude, whatever you're using, but I'm just going to come into a random chat and say, clean up this grocery list, organize it by section of the grocery store, and add 2 half gallons of orange juice and 2 bottles of red wine. And I'm going to paste it in. And then I'm going to get a wonderful, clear, organized grocery list that I can then print off, broken down by section. You don't have to do that. If you don't want to, you can just use the list. But I really like doing it this way. And then it makes it also really easy to see where there are overlaps, like cinnamon and ground cinnamon are the same. But again, we didn't deduplicate them because what if you needed cinnamon sticks and the GPT messed that up? So we're just trying to make sure that we don't make any mistakes for you. And now my grocery list is ready and my entire 3 days before Christmas are planned out in terms of cooking.